diabolical, actually. You're going to be frustrated regardless.
The alligator ate my ball. If I could only teach my dog to go find my ball, I'd be great.
Whether you live to golf or simply live near it, there's no denying golf is everywhere along the Grand Strand, from oceanfront fairways to tucked away hidden gems. In episode 3 of Coasting, we'll offer 2 perspectives from our special guests, Blair Anderson, longtime local resident, and Kenn Killian, a recent transplant, sharing what it's really like to make the move and find your golfing people, place, and pace. Whether you're a scratch golfer or just scratching your head about how many courses this area really has, spoiler alert, it's a lot, this episode is packed with laughs, insights, and advice for anyone considering life near the links. Welcome back to Coasting, the podcast about helping you find your people, place, and pace as you make the Carolina Coast your new home. I'm Celia Klein, your host, resident of Myrtle Beach and realtor with Grand Dunes Properties. I am thrilled to have Aunt B back. She is my ride or die, riding shotgun in this coasting convertible. You know what? We've gone through 2 episodes, Aunt B, and I haven't seen you like put your foot on the pretend brake or hold the Dear Jesus handle. So are we doing okay so far?
We're doing okay. You know I trust you.
Oh, God, you're truly a good friend. Truly, truly. So, hey, we have got to revisit the last 2 episodes. We've had a great response.
Okay.
People are giving us some feedback. So the nope, animals you do not want in your house. Guess what? Confirmed yet again with the number 1 question people ask when they're moving to this area, and that is, do we have any alligators? Yes, it came up again. And sure enough, these people are coming from New York, and they said, here's the deal. That retention pond might be a beautiful landscaped pond, but there is no way we are living anywhere near a pond where there might be an alligator. Can you believe it?
They need to watch the podcast.
And they did actually, and they're still like, nope. So, and then of course I do have to share, we've had a Palmetto Bug sighting. Yes, Yes, we have. Someone actually I was talking to about the podcast, they said, yeah, in a brand new house, in the primary bathroom, open up the drawer like they're going to get, toothpaste. There it is. Look, again, I have to make sure everyone knows just how far apart Aunt B's hands are. So I know, seriously, they have no respect for our personal space, do they?
They do not.
So right away, this person told me they called the exterminator, like, hook me up right now. I am done with these things. And then I had another person who wrote in the YouTube comments, they said, well, in our parts where we live, those are called water bugs. And I think water bugs sounds kind of yucky, but palmetto, it just sounds, so poetic, but I don't think water bugs fly. So I think we win. Either. I think we totally win that contest.
We had a palmetto bug sighting.
You did?
In my gym.
Oh, gosh.
During the middle of an exercise class.
Oh, God.
And if you want to laugh, we had 60 women running to the wall while the instructor goes to the palmetto bug and is like hitting it over the head with whatever she had in her hand.
But even though they're big, they're fast suckers.
They are.
That is, exercise in and of itself to try to catch the palmetto bug. But again, you have thankfully just come up with yet another excuse for people who don't want to go work out. Well done. Well done, Aunt B. Well done. So I have one more from one of the episodes. Okay, you were talking about your visit, up to New Jersey for your birthday, and you went to go see Tony Danza. Well, thanks to you, now I have an earworm that's going on. This is from when people butcher lyrics and everybody sings, and I know I'm gonna screw this up, but they go, "Hold me closer, Tony Danza." Okay, yeah. So but thank you, Aunt B. I have that in my head now, just constantly.
Well, I'm glad I could do that for you.
Thank you, Tony Danza. Yeah. Guess what? We're wearing red. Literally, it's a few days before Christmas. Aunt B, I saw pictures of the decorations of your house, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They look great.
Well, I have to get you to give scoop because I think you tried something a little different with decorations this season. So tell me about it.
I've never been a huge decoration person. Usually it's my lawn flag and the wreath on my front door, and that's it. Years and years ago, hubby used to climb up and put lights up and all that. But, you know, you come down here and we're getting a little too old to do that climbing up thing. But my neighbor got these beautiful lights that outlined his house.
So everything's symmetrical and
exactly. So we got the information from him, and we got a local contractor that came over, and he put up all the lights.
Oh.
Whichever way we wanted them. Do you want them pointing down? Do you want them pointing up? Do you want them?
Wow.
Do you want white lights? Do you want colored lights? Whatever.
So did you go get them?
No.
Oh.
So he purchases the lights.
Mm-hmm.
He puts all the lights up. He puts them on a timer. And then when the holiday's over, he comes and takes them down, and he stores them for you until next year. Now, I'm going to tell you how much it costs.
All right, bring it on, because whatever it is, I think it's worth it.
It's going to sound like a lot of money, but this year it cost us $700. Now, I've got the whole outline of my house. My house isn't tiny, but it's not huge. But next year, it will only cost half that much because part of the cost is him purchasing the lights.
Oh, I gotcha.
Now, I was in Costco.
Shocking.
And you know those little blow-up things that people put on the front of their lawns that they got to plug in? They had one in there, and it wasn't even that big. It was maybe half the size of this table, about 3 feet wide.
Okay.
Right? And maybe about 3 feet tall. Mm-hmm. It was $400.
Oh my gosh. At Costco even.
At Costco. So when I saw that, you know, we didn't get that bad of a deal after all. And we didn't have to do anything except my husband stood out there and watched him.
Oh, of course, supervising.
Make sure you get that. Make sure you get this. This guy was on my roof, and you know.
And then before you know it, there are other neighborhood men who have to come out and talk while it's getting done. Exactly.
Right. So I would recommend it highly.
Yeah, I mean the cost or the price alone for just putting it away, because at that point you are just so done with the holidays. You do not, and it's just staring at you like, you know, what are we celebrating July 4th with these lights? Come on now, you know.
And not all of our houses have basements. You know,
yeah, pretty much.
You
they
come
don't
from
have,
up
we don't
north.
have any.
You have a basement all the time where you can store things. So we have limited storage space. So the fact that he takes them, stores them for you, you know, and
oh, so it's not even put away in your garage or your attic. He literally takes them away and stores them. Oh my gosh, this is too good.
I don't have to provide any room or a box or a, you know, shelf
awesome.
Or anything.
That's great. That's great. And it looks gorgeous. It really looks great.
It does look gorgeous.
Well, good. Now, so one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about during this is because, and this is kind of our coasting counsel for today's episode, is the importance of knowing what your HOA will allow you to do in the world of decorations, whether at Christmas time or otherwise. And so, you know, things like, you know, when can they go up? Because we are very eager, very, very eager in our communities to put up the holiday decorations. And so, you know, so we might be able to do it right after Thanksgiving, but they might tell you when they have to come down, what can go up. So what did you learn about your particular HOA?
I checked with my HOA, with my president, and she told me that decorations are allowed to go up 30 days before the holiday, and they have to come down 15 days after the holiday. But they're really not that strict in my neighborhood, though some HOAs are very strict. So you would have to check with your particular HOA.
Now, I have a neighbor who keeps the white light candles in her windows year round, and I just love that. So I hope nobody busts her on that. It's too pretty.
And that's inside her house, so I don't know that they could even say
Good call. Good call. That's right. So coasting counsel is just to really check your HOA documents before you even make your Costco run to go buy your decorations for your house, because you just never know. Like, for example, there's one builder that I know, and again, this isn't holiday decoration related, but it literally spells out you cannot have any yard gnomes at all. And you know what? I like that rule. So, you know what? Guess what? It's time to dive into this episode and the world of golf. So after this break, we're going to welcome Blair Anderson as our guest on the Coasting Podcast. Wait till you hear how he has taken a love of golf he's had since he was just a little kid and put Myrtle Beach on the map with the addition of a brand new PGA event. We're going to get Blair in the Coasting convertible. We're about to go for a ride when we come back from this break.
The Coasting Podcast is grateful to be recording from the lovely tea porch inside the Myrtle Beach Art Museum at 3100 South Ocean Boulevard, the Grand Strand's home for visual arts. In addition to the tea room offering a tranquil space to view the Atlantic Ocean, the museum includes 11 galleries, an art education studio, a library, a museum shop, a pottery studio. Be sure to check out their website for their current exhibits and programs. Admission is $8 for adults, $5 for seniors and veterans, and free for children 18 and under and EBT card holders. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Call 843-238-2510 with any questions.
All right. We are back and golf. You know what? If I were doing this podcast on my own, this would be pretty much the end of today's episode. I have 2 minutes of information that I could give you about golfing. So yes, I know very little about golf, but thank goodness Blair Anderson has agreed to ride along. You know what? Blair's a rare species. His family is from this area, started in Mullins and came to Myrtle Beach in the late 80s. Is that about
That's
right?
correct. Yep.
While the world of mortgage lending fills your Monday through Friday, Blair has been enjoying the nearly 90 courses in our area since he was just a tyke. Just recently, while leading the Dunes Golf Club, he played a pivotal role in getting a PGA event in our area. The inaugural Myrtle Beach Classic did so well in 2024, they came back again in 2025. Clearly, we are riding with someone in the know when it comes to golf in our area, so let's welcome Blair Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming. So, okay, it is obligatory here on the Coasting Podcast that the first question for our guests is, have you been in close contact with an alligator and were you in fear of your life?
Yes. First answer to the first question is
Okay.
absolutely I have, for sure. And unfortunately, sometimes when you hit your golf ball offline or close to the water, sometimes it'll land right beside him.
Oh,
You take a penalty stroke.
yes,
man.
you do. Yes, you do.
You
Yes,
don't mess
do.
with them.
All right. So do you remember where'd you see the
Oh,
alligator?
100%. It was at the Dunes Club.
Okay.
They're always around number 13.
Oh,
Always,
okay.
yes.
This sounds like a future alligator, like we need a little guide and, so that everybody kind of knows for those
Oh,
golf
yeah.
courses.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And so was it a foursome and you all just you just keep doing your thing?
Unfortunately, I have some friends that like to get a little closer than I do.
Yeah.
And most times they'll just run and jump in the water. I don't get that close.
Yeah.
I'll let someone else do that.
Yeah. Oh
I mean,
my
they're
gosh.
dinosaurs, for God's sake.
Exactly. Yes. Well, thank you for
You're
asking
welcome.
that
Thank you for having
important
me.
question. All right. So, I want to start off with the where and the when did you first start playing and getting involved in golf?
Okay. The where was in Nichols, South Carolina,
okay.
believe it or not. There was a golf course there called Pineland Country Club, and I grew up on the second green. So, gosh, probably since I was 8 years old, I was out on the golf course every afternoon after school instead of doing my schoolwork. I'd much rather play golf. So
of course.
they had to look for me out there when it was time to eat.
And so do those courses that you grew up on, do they still exist?
Unfortunately, they don't. Actually, that was Marion County, and there's 0 golf courses in Marion County today, which is kind of sad. There were 2 that I remember growing up as a kid. One was Pineland, the other was Dusty Hills, and neither one exists any longer.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sad.
Yeah. Are you a member of several clubs now? Just one?
Just one.
Okay, and that's
That's the Dunes Golf and Beach
Okay.
Club, right.
Now, do you play that one, and that's the only one, or do you go play different courses?
I've played different courses and continue to play different courses because there's so many different layouts down here.
Okay.
By so many different designers that it's a lot of fun to go play those different design golf courses. And I have friends that like to go play different courses as well that might not be a member at the Dunes Club, and they want to go play, whether it be Pine Lakes or all the resort courses over at Grand Dunes. So we travel quite a bit.
So I'm loving this word. Oh, so I'm going to learn some lingo here
Okay.
today, Blair. This is great. So designers. Ooh, I know about designers of handbags, but golf courses. Wow.
Right.
So I might every once in a while hear something like a Jack Nicklaus course. Is that what
right.
that means?
That's exactly what that means.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Whew, all right. I'm getting there.
And they, like designers, put their touches on their golf courses they design. So even if you might not know, like Pete Dye, for example.
All right.
Very difficult designer. Diabolical, actually. He designed some very difficult courses.
So in our area of the, what is it? We're around 80, 90 something courses, something like that?
I think it's 80.
Okay. And so when you say Pete Dye, how many Pete Dye designed courses do we have?
I know of 2.
Okay.
Prestwick
Okay.
and the Dye course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Those are the only 2 I know of here.
All right. So I always want to, you know who our listener is, right? They're either thinking about moving here or they've just moved here. How would you describe the Myrtle Beach golf scene to someone who's never visited?
Wow. It's very easy to find a golf course to play.
Sure, lots of choices.
If you want to play. And there's so many people that come down here to play golf.
Yeah.
That if you're a beginner, advanced golfer, most people have either heard of some of the golf courses. They've certainly probably heard of the Myrtle Beach area. And so their buddies will have told them, hey, go check this golf course out. Or, hey, I know the head pro at this golf course, so go check them out. So it's very diverse. You have them from really old school design golf courses that some advanced golfers may find a little easier to, like I said, the Pete Dye golf courses that are really, really difficult to play. And then you have different sets of tees that you can play that make it shorter or longer. And so you can make it as hard as you want.
So from the standpoint of, we probably assume that a lot of people have first experienced Myrtle Beach because of a family vacation, right?
Right.
But what you're telling me is we may have just as many who are experiencing Myrtle Beach because they were specifically seeking golfing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I mean, that lets us know one of the reasons why we're growing so much, right?
Right.
And would you say for somebody who is an experienced golfer, how are they doing the research to realize what courses might be the ones they might really want to try in our area? Where do they look?
There's a little discount coupon book called Myrtle Beach Passport. Okay. And in that, they list all of the golf courses here, which is kind of neat. I would say, though, that most people, if they've been here, they have a friend that will tell them, hey, this is a new course, go try this out. Or they will always have one that maybe they didn't book it enough in advance. Because some of the more well-known or newer golf courses tend to get booked out faster. And so they have to book it a year in advance many times to be able to play it. So all across the board, just going into Myrtle Beach and taking a look on the passport at all the listing of the golf courses is a good way to do it.
Yeah. Now, if you're playing Dunes Club and you play it a lot, and I know the answer for you, but is there such a thing as golf fatigue? Meaning, what is it that is about golf that just makes you be like, yeah, I need to get out on the course. I need to be there.
When I don't go enough.
Okay.
That's wanting to get me out there. And then because sometimes I'll take enough time between the times I play, I forget all the bad habits that I have. And so I'll get back out there and then I'll play and I'll play well. And then if I play too many times in a row, all the bad habits creep in and then golf fatigue sets in and I need to take a break.
I got it. So for the non-golfers that are moving to our area, what kind of exposure or access to the golf lifestyle might they experience, but they're not even playing yet, their future?
Well, there are some, I'm sure many people have heard of Top Golf. You don't actually have to go out on a golf course to have a golfing experience. And then Pop Stroke as well opened up, I believe, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So you can go in the community, you can go experience the Top Golf. I mean, it's fantastic. You can play different games that are a little different than being on an actual golf course and having, people behind you trying to speed you up if you're too slow
Right.
or if you hit a bad shot,
Right.
having to wait and look for the golf ball. You don't have to do that at Top Golf or Pop Stroke.
Exactly.
You can find it pretty easily.
Exactly. So, and from the standpoint of for experienced golfers, are they even going to admit that they'll go there? Or is that like I don't do Top Golf? Are you kidding
No,
me?
not at all.
Okay, good.
A lot of my friends that are really good golfers really enjoy going.
Good.
And we'll mostly go when it's raining because we can go play under the,
under the
it's covered.
Exactly. And one of the other questions: what kind of either camaraderie or community do you find on the course that maybe is unique to our area? Is it possible to have something unique about our area?
I think it is the golf, actually.
Okay.
And I think being part of a golfing community, when if you're just coming to the area, and I've met a lot of new people on the golf course, when you come in, you get paired up with them, you're spending 4 hours with someone, right? 4 hours plus. And so you learn, what do they like? Where are they from? What golf courses have they played? Have they been to this area more than once? And in my case, the people that I've played with over the years, a lot of folks will say, I've gone to Myrtle Beach and played for years and years and years. And when I retired, I knew I wanted to come down and play full time, which is really, really cool.
I have heard some people say that one of the things that they feel like, at least just the dynamic, it feels different with Myrtle Beach courses is just how the level of hospitality that they walk in, and it's just people are you're part of you're here, you're part of the family, do this, do that, you're welcome, that kind of a thing.
Right.
Whereas it in other locations, they just felt like maybe it's a bit more structured of follow those rules and that kind of thing. So it sounds like it's very comfortable here.
It is because of the number of golf courses. If you go to other cities, they don't have as many. So typically you have more private memberships that sometimes can create more stuffiness. Whereas here, when you have so many public golf courses, you get to pick and choose which ones you want to go play. And most people are down here to have fun. And when you retire, you want to get on the golf course and have fun and enjoy your retirement. And that's awesome.
Now, I want to start diving into the world of the Myrtle Beach Classic.
Okay.
That was so exciting. Here I am seeing all these pictures about this event everywhere. And who is in every picture? Blair Anderson right there. It was so cool. It was really great. And clearly you have a passion about golf, so much so that you work to, bring this event, to our town. So we want to, you're already very busy in the world of mortgage lending. So I'm going, Blair, why did you do this?
Well, I look like I organized the parade, but I didn't.
Okay.
I was just a part of the parade.
All right.
So back in 2022, when Live Golf came out, they created events that were small as far as a number of participants.
Okay.
And they had large purses that the players were playing for. Well, the answer to that was the PGA Tour created what they called elevated events. And when they created elevated events, they also created what they call sister tournaments, which there would be a top 70 event going on, and then the remainder of the PGA Tour would go play at other locations. When they made that change, we were already looking, and so was the Myrtle Beach Chamber. We are the golf capital, and we've never had a PGA Tour event.
Yeah.
So it was finally our opportunity to be considered to host an event, and when it happened, it was just really, really amazing. And I was the president of the club during the first year of the event, and it was incredible.
The crowds,
just for our area,
Blair.
golf, but to see it in your hometown and
Yes.
just how excited everybody was, and what a great, event for the Grand Strand in general. It's just huge.
It was just, so much coverage and media. And to your point, we have, these 80 plus courses.
Right.
It's about time that,
about time.
that head organization puts a spotlight on it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So, it was wonderful. And so, from what I understand, in terms of an inaugural event, I think we broke records or something like that. It was pretty amazing.
We did. The PGA Tour was extremely excited with all the participation. We had over 1,300 volunteers. A lot of our membership really chipped in and helped. I had no clue how much really goes on behind the scenes, in hosting one of those events.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. I mean, I've just never seen anything like it.
And then the crowds were great, so much so
the weather
that they
was
were
great too.
Yes, it really was. So they said, "Hello, you get to do it again."
Well, we signed a 4-year contract.
Okay, everybody. So they're going to be here for a few more, which is fantastic.
Yes.
That's great. And you're right. That weather was
It was perfect.
it was
Year one.
phenomenal. Now, from the standpoint of, like you said, you get the word, okay, now Dunes Club is going to be hosting this event. Can you give us a little insight on, okay, what do you do from there once you get word? I mean, and how much time did you have from when you officially heard until it was event day?
So we had a little over 12 months.
Okay, good.
And what we were unaware of was the PGA Tour came in with their agronomist and said, we want you to make these changes to the golf course.
Oh, my.
So we had less than a year to, redo some teeing areas, create some new teeing areas that lengthen the golf course in certain spots, and really just get it tour ready. So everyone on the Dunes Club staff did just such an amazing job. I mean, we had made our putting green twice the size that it was, and just to get ready in general, knowing what's coming, in anticipation with the volunteers, just having the course roped off. We closed down a week in advance so that we could really get prepared. And just, you'd be amazed at putting up those grandstands, how long it really takes.
Really?
Oh my gosh. It's unbelievable. And it's all happening until the day before it starts. So you're wondering, oh my gosh, I hope nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
But they pull it together all at one time. It's incredible.
So was there a particular moment that you can recall for the inaugural event that just was a wow moment for you?
Yeah, the last day. when it was ending and over, because it was so tiring, right? The anticipation, first time, being president of the club, hoping that not only did all the fans enjoy it, did the city enjoy it, did all of the members enjoy it, and did the players enjoy it, and to get just really, really great feedback from all parties, and it being over, having been so tired, was just like, woo, yes, I'm glad we did it.
That's awesome. Now, the first winner of the inaugural event, are you ready for 6 degrees of separation to go?
Please.
Okay, so the winner grew up in my hometown on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I went to school with his mom.
Really?
And my dad worked with his grandfather. I mean,
wow.
So of course I was like, oh yeah, that's all because of me, right?
Chris got her up. He's
I'm not
a
sure
great guy
how.
too.
I don't even know how to spell golf, but I'm like, of course, but it was just so fun to be like, oh my gosh, that's Katie's son, So it was very,
that's great.
very,
I didn't
very
know
cool.
that.
Yeah. So, what does the future look like? You talked about, that it's a 4-year agreement. So are there changes that you already know will need to happen for the 3rd year?
I'm not as involved as I was last year, but just so what happens after the event is everyone goes back and does basically an analysis of what could we have done better, get a lot of feedback from everyone that was involved, not only from working it, but from participation from the patrons that came and watched. So we take that, digest it, talk to the tour, talk to the operator of the tournament, Sport 5, and basically see where we can improve to make the experience better for all parties involved. So there's a lot of work that goes in, and it actually starts the month after the tournament's over to get ready for the following year. So it's a lot. It never stops.
And what's the date for the start of this one coming up?
It's the first week of May. I think it's the 5th through the 9th, I believe.
We'll make sure we get that.
I could be wrong on that. But.
Not a problem. We'll make sure to double check on that.
Please.
So, now going from, people who literally just, it's their profession. And now we're going to go back to the people who are just starting out, people who may just be moving here, or say it's the spouse of someone who golfs and now they're like, okay, should I try this, right? What advice would you give to that person who's thinking about, all right, maybe I'll tag along?
Just do it. I mean, I know that's oversimplifying it, but I think that, so I'll use my wife as an example.
Okay.
I have two sons that are older. They play. I play. She's always wanted to play. But she was always fearful of, I really don't know what to do. I don't know what the rules are. I don't want to hold anybody up. So how do I start? And really it's starting at the driving range, just getting a feel, hitting the golf ball, learning how to putt, and doing those things. So if you're just starting, I would say, go to an instructor. That's not a bad thing, because you really are a blank canvas at that point.
Right.
So start out the right way with the proper technique, and I think you'll enjoy it much sooner and be less frustrated.
Frustrated, yes.
You're going to be frustrated regardless. It doesn't matter your skill level. You're going to be frustrated.
Are there hidden gem courses around Myrtle Beach that you want to secretly mention here for the zillions of people who watch the podcast?
Sure. I mean, I mentioned Pete Dye, but I love Prestwick. I've always loved that golf course. It's just so much fun. I've had so many great memories on that golf course. I love Pine Lakes. It's a good one. Surf Club is great.
How do you choose between public course and private? Meaning, what are the advantages, if you will, to one versus another?
I guess private, you kind of know everyone there if you're a member. And so it's easier to book tee times because you're not competing with the golfing population. It's much smaller, but it can still be as difficult to get a tee time, depending on the time of the year. But I choose it just depending on where my friends want to go and kind of what's going on. We have so many tournaments down here too, charity events and things like that. And Arrowhead is another one. We just had an event there, and it was amazing. I always love going and playing that golf course too. It's just, each one has its own character. So if you really have a good time playing it, or you score well, you typically want to go back to that one.
You're like, I really
I played that one well.
I looked good out there. I want to try that one again.
Exactly.
I want to change it just a little bit with this final question, and that is, for people who are also thinking about, where do I live when I move to this area? Some will consider a golf community. And, I believe you live in a golf community. What are some, advantage? Why would someone who's maybe not into golf maybe choose living in a golf community?
The surroundings. Typically being in a golf course, you're going to have people with golf carts that love to ride around. I think they're going to be much more social. Not that those that aren't in a golfing community are not social, but I think just in my particular neighborhood, I watch the number of people that all have golf carts, ride around, go to each other's homes, and then they also take their golf carts to the golf course. And so the neighbors in the event they play, if you don't play, you're probably going to be talked into playing.
Yes.
Which is not a bad thing unless you just hate the game, right? But
well, I always say also, to your point, the setting, it's communities that have trees, where a lot of our newer communities here, they're going to do the clear cut.
Right.
You won't have as much of that natural beauty.
Right.
And hey, if you're actually on the course, your neighbor, when you look out from your rear porch, it's going to be mighty quiet at night, because what you're seeing is not necessarily going to be, another neighbor waving from across the way, know?
And a lot of the courses that are in communities have social programs. So it's not necessarily just about the golf. Maybe they'll have parties for the neighborhood at the golf course, or some of the ones that have memberships have social memberships as well, where they do things at the clubhouse, whether it's bingo or whatever type of event. It's great.
Exactly.
You just become part of a bigger community.
Yeah, if you don't already know this, whether you golf or not, everybody, the golf cart is going to be your main mode of transportation in our area. And I always tell people, I'm like, when you were, a teenager on Friday nights, you went cruising, right? Or coasting, you do that again, and now it's in a golf cart.
Right. That's exactly right.
And so it really just to your point, lends itself to being a social atmosphere.
It really does.
Yes. Blair, I am so grateful that you came in to talk
Thank
to
you,
us,
Celia.
and so that the podcast could last longer than the 2 minutes of information I might have had. So thank you. And
You're welcome. My
also,
pleasure.
everybody keep in mind, coasting fans, you're going to run into Blair during your process of moving here, possibly. He's one of several mortgage lenders that do a great job helping peeps, and with the mortgage process to get their castle in the sand. He's with Neighborhood Loans. So Blair, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
coming.
Thank
I
you
really
for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Thank you very much.
When we come back from a break, a real live coasting listener, Kenn Killian, who made the move to enjoy golf year-round, will be with us next.
Need a good read during the winter months? Consider a visit to the Myrtle Beach Museum gift shop to purchase a copy of the new book, The Villa, a Myrtle Beach story. From the historic villa to beloved art museum, this book traces the villa's journey and captures the passion, people, and the vision that made the art museum a reality. Pick up your copy today. This is a rich story.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This podcast, if you'll recall, it's geared towards, people planning to move to the Myrtle Beach area or they just moved here. So it's great to bring on a guest who just experienced this firsthand and can share how he found his people, place, and pace. Coasting listeners, please welcome my client and friend, Kenn Killian. Hi, Kenn.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, we're
Glad
going to
to
be
be
talking. We're going to be talking golf, and so I have to ask an obligatory question though that has nothing to do with golf. I think you know what it is, and that is, have you seen an alligator since you moved here?
Since I moved here, yes,
Oh,
in my
gosh.
retention pond. But I have to tell you, one time I was golfing in Florida, and I hit the ball over the green, right near an alligator, and I didn't see it, but my buddy that was golfing with me, the alligator ate my ball. Cost me a stroke.
Which kind?
Well,
Just please clarify.
if I would have hit the ball a little closer to the green, it wouldn't have happened.
right.
Yes.
But so you're killing my theory here. So the one that you said you had a retention pond behind your house, please tell me it's not a regular sighting. It was just a one-time thing.
No.
Oh gosh,
No,
Kenn,
I-
you're killing me. People are
for
not
the one
gonna.
week that it was warm, you see him up on the bank. I don't know, 4 or 5 days in a row.
How big is this alligator?
He wasn't that big, maybe 5 feet
Okay.
with the tail and everything.
And you have a dog, so
Yeah.
all right. So we just keep the dog inside and
We
respect the gator.
Yes, we keep a close eye out on both.
Yeah,
We have a
yes.
fence. He's mostly all the way on the other side. He's a good 100.
All right.
150
Okay, that
yards
makes me
away,
feel
so-
better. All right. All
But I
right.
got binoculars.
So you moved here from Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
So when did you first start coming to Myrtle Beach to golf?
I started coming in the early 90s, 92, 93, and I didn't actually golf back then, probably until about maybe 95, 96 or so.
Okay.
So I took it up rather late in life.
So what drew you initially? Is it, the number of courses that we just talked about, or is there a vibe or something you heard about, or the scenery? What was it that brought you?
What originally brought me is my boss had condos down here.
Okay.
And so he used to bring us down and we would go golfing for a week. Like sometimes as much as 8 of us would come in a couple caravan of cars, and we'd spend a week and we'd go golfing, and we look forward to it every year. We just had a great time.
That's awesome. Now, did it become an annual tradition, more occasional? I mean,
It was every spring. It was
Okay.
every spring
All
we
right.
would do that, and then I would always come down the summertime for the beach, and then sometimes I'd make a fall trip too.
Wow. So what for you, before you moved here, what would you say were maybe your top 2 or 3 courses that just ended up becoming favorites? Because apparently from what Blair tells us, whichever one you do well in becomes your favorite.
Right. I like World Tour.
Okay.
Is really nice, and as Blair mentioned, Prestwick. I played that a week or so ago. That's a really nice course too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when did Myrtle Beach start? I want to learn this. When did you start transition from it being a place that you vacationed and did your golf trips to, I think this might be a place to call home.
I think for 25 years I planned on coming down here and soon as I retired. And immediately I retired in April, and I was here in May.
That's fantastic.
I was like, it's time to go.
I love that you just had this laser focus this whole
was
time. Like
laser
there's
focused.
probably, hash marks on calendars for 20 plus years going one day.
All up there. I was packing the house a year ahead of time.
That's fantastic.
I was out.
So of the different things, because you said you came here in the summer just to kind of vacation, more beach stuff, but then you had the 2 trips, spring and fall for golf. What would you say in terms of, factoring, if you had to, which one was most important factor to actually getting you here?
I believe the spring trip when we would golf with all the buddies and
because it's
hang
warm
out.
down here
It's
and back
warm
where
and
you are in PA, it was
freezing.
still, yeah.
Yeah, and it made a difference of everything.
You're going, this could be my life.
Yeah,
and
this
it's,
is
March
great.
and it feels awesome. I'm in short sleeves.
Yeah, March and April and 60, 70 degree days is tremendous.
So do you think that, being a part of and going to golf, courses fairly regularly, maybe some of the same ones, that it gave you a sense of community before you even moved here?
Yeah, I think absolutely. You get to know the area and the restaurants and, the bars in the area, and you feel like it's kind of your second home, even though you don't live here.
So when you came, you were visiting and you were playing golf, did you already have your other, members that made up a foursome, or did you have to, connect some way with people to get the foursome gathered?
When we used to come down, we always brought them.
Okay.
So we
okay.
we always had at least a foursome.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's something, what's something now as a resident golfer that maybe you didn't know as a visitor? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Since
Any
I've been
inside
coming down
scoop?
for 30 years, and nothing really surprised me yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, not that I can think of.
So the move was more so of the address, the house. You already felt like you knew and were familiar with the courses. So that part was already done. You were just going to be able to enjoy them more frequently.
Correct. Yes.
That's
and the weather.
Yes. Are there any hidden gem courses you have found since moving here that were new on your list?
Well, Prestwick was new. That's the first time I
Mm-hmm.
played that a couple of weeks ago. So, and the other courses that I had played before. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to. I just had gotten a new puppy, so I couldn't leave him by himself for a long time. So now I'm just at the point where I can get out of the house for 5 or 6 hours and leave him there.
So basically you're telling me golf courses are the only place that won't allow dogs, because it seems like they're everywhere else now.
Right. If I could only teach my dog to go find my ball, I'd be great.
Any day now, Ken, I'm sure.
It's
Any
coming.
day now.
It's coming.
So is there a course that you have yet to play that's definitely, it is on your short list?
Yes, I'd like to play True Blue and Founders Club down in Pawleys Island.
Yeah.
So I want to get down there.
I've heard all the Pawleys courses are just really, really nice.
I played them. It's been quite a while since I've been down there, but I want to get back down there.
So how does it feel to be playing on a course midweek knowing that there are people that you used to work with in PA that are still working?
It feels great. Sometimes I'm texting them, hey, I'm on hole 3. Where are you at? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Right. You kind of do it on purpose now, don't
Absolutely. Yeah. And, they're all golfers, so,
Mm-hmm. Tell me about if there are any, I'm thinking there are perks of being a local. Are there, rates or packages, memberships, anything that, now you can take advantage of them because you're here locally?
Sometimes you can show your license, and if it's a local license, they'll give you a discount.
Oh, okay.
More than a passport. Mm-hmm. Or you can get a golf passport, which has about 70 courses on it.
Oh.
You pay, I think it was $50 or $69 for the year. And then you can pick from like 70 courses, and once a week they'll send you an email with the prices.
Oh, wow.
And the times.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one that's called Prime, and then that's all the founders courses. So
Okay.
then you can play those. Or there's a trail pass also that includes like lodging and stuff. So they kind of put a whole package together for
Mm-hmm.
you, and set up the courses and lodging and everything for you.
So here's what I want to know. So if, here you are, you've literally just moved here a few months ago, And, how do you make those connections so that you can put together a foursome since your buddies didn't move here at the same time?
Right. Well, we connected in the neighborhood. We got together and had some nights at the local brewery, and then we connected, got everybody's cell phone number, and then there's Facebook and just walking down the street and with your dog, and you meet other guys, and then you want to go golfing, and sometimes you click, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you go as a single and you show up on the course and there's another single there. Happened to me at Prestwick, and I played with the other local.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's always people looking to golf with, and everybody's really friendly on the golf course. So there's usually not a problem, even though they're strangers.
And I think, again, that's the big bravo to you because, again, so many people, when we're talking that first few phone calls of them moving to the area, they're wondering, how am I going to connect? How am I going to? And so, you make it sound very simple that it's just, whether it's walking in your neighborhood or, maybe there's something Facebook or community, type of communication, and you just find your people that way. And obviously having the same, sharing the love of golf, I think it's fantastic that you, in this short amount of time, already have people that you have connected with, because that's how it's supposed to work here. And before you know it, you'll have your tribe, right? And that'll be your posse that goes out regularly. So bravo to you for the little bit of courage I'm sure it took to get that started.
Yeah, you just got to be a little outgoing. You got to talk to people, and I'm gonna say 3 out of 4 guys down here, maybe not golf every week, but they golf occasionally. So it's not really that hard. They should make the move.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what kind of advice, for someone who's considering here, would you offer about, their move in relation to getting connected in the world of golf here?
It's just easy to get a foursome together. You can play whenever you need to play. There's so many courses. There's a lot of openings everywhere, and everybody's so nice. It's really not a problem.
So to summarize, it sounds like life is good, Ken.
Life is wonderful. Sometimes I wake up and I go out back and I just look at the sky and how blue it is, and it's like, wow. When you're grinding at work, notice the sky. And it's like, I'm just so happy to be here, truthfully.
Great. I am so glad that you came on board the Coasting Convertible and shared your experience of moving here and enjoying golf. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Celia.
Guess what? Another episode of Coasting is complete. We're about to put the convertible in park. Are you liking this so far? Share the podcast link with others. You can find it anywhere you listen or watch your favorite podcasts. We release a new podcast every 2 weeks, so subscribe and you can get notified when the next one is coming out. And hey, if you have any questions regarding real estate, thinking about moving here, or maybe you want to make a change of where you live in the area now, guess what? I'd love to help. My number is shown. Well, thanks, Ken. That was a shameless plug right there. Thanks. And my number is going to be shown at the end of the closing credits. I hope everyone has a delightful holiday season, and hopefully that is happening here along the Carolina coast. Thanks again for listening, and as always, keep it coasting. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm getting choked up.
I typically only cry over sports movies or dog movies.
Okay.
And so if you have like Air Bud with a dog playing sports, I'm a puddle. Now cats, we may have to talk a little bit, and other kind of non-domesticated animals, maybe not, but dogs are always welcome at Dunes Law Firm.
The executive producers of Coasting Podcast is Celia Klein. Producer is Michael Lehman from Frame Wave Visuals. The opinions expressed herein are solely those of Celia, Aunt B, and any special guest. Good news? Agree? Disagree? You have that liberty. Special thanks to Blair Anderson, Kenn Killian, Tristan Kinnery, Hermie the Dentist, Jenny Rojas, and that overly friendly lady in the pink dress. Celia is a licensed realtor in both South and North Carolina. For assistance in either buying or selling real estate, please call 843-321-9646. The Coasting Podcast can be found wherever you are currently enjoying your other favorite podcasts. We thank you for listening.